Hola amigos de Xbox, yo soy Gabochok desde las oficinas de Ubisoft, donde vamos a estar platicando con Jason Vanderberguhe, que es director creativo de For Honor. Así que en lo que afilamos nuestras espadas, ¿qué les parece si vamos a ver la entrevista? Ya estamos aquí con Jason. Welcome to Mexico. How has Mexico treated you so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's my first time in Mexico City, and it's awesome. Yeah, I love the scale and the variety and all the energy, and you're so nice. I'm having a great time.
About your experience, we know that you have been, you have adapted a lot of films to video games. What about that?
I have. I spent a long time doing that. It certainly is a great way to learn the discipline of video games, right? Is to work within those tight constraints. So it was a long university study, right?
Now, about For Honor, it has been a long way since you conceived the idea back in the day. Can you tell us a little bit about the early years?
Sure. So the idea for Honor actually, it came from I took a course once. It was about 15 years ago. Getting old. About 15 years ago, I took a course in German longsword, which is the style of sword fighting you see the knights use, the warden. And I was so impressed by how simple and clear and sort of it was really a neat system. And so I thought, what would happen if we applied that to the controller? And that was how the idea of this layout, of this new way of fighting, this core thing we call the art of battle, right? That thing happened in that idea. I pitched it for like 10 years, and nobody wanted to make it, right? Until I pitched it at Ubisoft Montreal, and here we are. So the game is really about taking the emotional experience of having a weapon, being locked in combat with someone who is you're an expert, they're an expert, and watching what they're doing and guarding yourself and looking for openings, right? It's about taking that experience and putting it right in your television, on your couch, in the living room, right? Or at your desk on your PC, right? Because right now the current approach to melee systems, right, it's really up in your head. You end up watching and sort of memorizing, right? For us, For Honor happens in your body. It happens in the lower part of your brain where you're like dodging and attacking. So it's all about being on that battlefield.
So how did that work, the new gameplay controls?
So in For Honor, so it's a third-person game, so you're running around with the left stick. We have a lock mechanic, so we lock onto your enemies, so we strafe around each other. And then when you're locked on, you have, in guard mode, you have three stances. You have, with the right stick, you change your stance with the right stick. We have left, right, and top, so you have your weapon here, your weapon here, and you have the same thing. So if we're locked in, we both have three stances. And wherever we're holding our weapon, that's where we're safe. We're blocking there. So if I have my weapon here and you attack me here, ting, I'll block it, right? But if you attack me here, I'll take the hit. So, and when I attack from the guard that I'm in, right? So if I'm over here, I'm going to attack you there. Over here, I'm going to attack you there, right? So that core system, plus we have grabs and we have dodging and we have a bunch of other systems that work to make it come into a real fighting system. That system does a great job of reproducing what it's like, because when you're fighting with real weapons, right? You're worried about where is their weapon, right? Where are they open? Where are they doing, right? That's what you're paying attention to, and so it puts your attention in the right place. And so what happens is I think, this is my theory, I don't know, that the part of your brain, right, that is always ready for a fight, right, because we've been fighting each other for a long time, right, as a species, that's something that we're good at that, right, that part of your brain takes over, right, and starts to feel really natural. This system feels really natural and instinctive, and so then you're immersed into the fight and you believe you're there and it feels great,
So as crazy as the whole idea sounds, why should people give it a try?
Well, I mean, there isn't another game like it. If you're someone who has a sword fighting fantasy, right? If you've ever thought about, if you've ever imagined yourself as one of King Arthur's knights, or like the Vikings TV show, sitting there with Ragnar, right? Or as a Musashi, right? And maybe if you've ever thought about yourself, if you love that topic, right? And you want to try it out, right? We've got a game for you, right? It's an opportunity to see if you've got a knight or a Viking or a samurai, sort of inside of you, and to sort of let that warrior out onto the field of battle, right? So that's what I've got.
Any final message for the people in Mexico?
First, it's great to be here. Hope you're super excited about the game. Comes out on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, which is why we put co-op in the game, so you can play co-op, right? So I think it's a great date game, personally. That's what I'll be doing with my wife.
Thank you for talking to us. Pues ahí estuvo For Honor. Si quieren tener toda la información sobre este juego, recuerden que nos pueden seguir en nuestras redes sociales. Estamos en todas como Xbox México. Yo soy Gabo Chuck y los espero en la próxima.